CSGO has gotten another big update, the second time in under a week that this has happened. Something that might finally make the game playable is the option to view other people's custom crosshairs. You can now borrow ideas from the top fragger, or get inspiration from strange setups to give you a gameplay advantage. You'll be able to configure your crosshair to be the same as theirs in the scoreboard, using this option. I'm still unsure whether a crosshair can make you play better, but there are definitely a few configs that you should avoid using. But still, it's a nice customization feature to have. You don't have to use this, the option can be configured just here in the game's options menu. You can disable the option completely if you like, or you can limit it to friends and family and whoever you're queuing with, or you can view everybody's crosshairs. By default it's set so you can only see your parties. There was a post on the CSGO subreddit about this a few weeks ago, discussing this feature in Valorant and saying that it would be cool to have it in this game. So I guess that Valve has listened, stealing a feature from a game that, let's face it, has already borrowed quite a lot from Counter-Strike. This next thing may change the gameplay a little bit more, and that's a new weapon parameter called Inaccuracy Jump Apex, which, for now, only the deagle's using. But because there are so many factors which make up your jumping accuracy, I'll just explain how the deagle's changed, step by step. Immediately after you jump, the deagle will be really inaccurate because of another change to its properties in this update that Valve didn't mention. Its accuracy remains poor for the duration of the jump because it's using the old and new inaccuracy combined. In short, don't bother jump shooting anymore because the bullet could end up going anywhere on your screen. And then, after you've landed, its accuracy will suddenly become a lot better again because the new parameter forgets about the jump immediately after you've landed. Really, I could spend a whole video talking about how this could change things, but since right now it's only being used on the deagle, and because the old system is still active, I'm going to wait for the next update before I talk more about it because, honestly, I don't think even Valve know what they're going to do with it next right now. It might be rolled out for all the other weapons, it might replace the old parameter completely. There's even another new parameter that they haven't used yet, for choosing your inaccuracy the moment after landing. All you need to know is that Sloth Squadron is happy with this change, saying it's how he would have wanted jumping inaccuracy calculated in the first place. And now there's this feature, he'll be adding it to a future iteration of his weapon balance mod. The old system meant that dropping off a small prop like this crate on Dust 2 would punish your accuracy, even for a while after landing. But the new one would be more forgiving, returning to standard inaccuracy the moment after landing again. There's also another change to the weapons behind the scenes. It now remembers weapon stats, cooling inaccuracy down even when they're not equipped. You know how players would quickly switch from the deagle and back to it again to reset its accuracy more quickly? This update means that there's no point anymore because the weapon will regain accuracy at the same rate, whether you've got it equipped or not. It will only make a difference to guns with high recovery times such as the deagle and M249, but just so you know, there's no longer a gameplay benefit to quick switching weapons for this reason. Let's face it, warm-ups are a confused period before a match in Counter-Strike. What are you supposed to do for those almost 5 minutes while you're waiting for the 10th person to connect? Some people remain AFK, while others rush to the other team's spawn to assert dominance over said AFKers. I feel they should have changed warm-up to deathmatch and been done with it. But this update sees the first step towards a more interesting warm-up period. In Wingman, on Train and Vertigo only, you'll be placed into a 1v1 arena. You can see footage of me here playing with a crosshair that my teammate later judged me for in game. Funny thing is, by then I had stolen the enemy's one, which proved to be a lot better, so maybe your crosshair won't update on other people's screens if you change it mid-match. If that is the case, then be sure to choose the stupidest one you can before entering a game to impress your teammates when you eventually do something awesome, like killing an enemy. I expect this kind of digital stalking to steal crosshairs will become rather popular for the Counter-Strike player who must have it all, including Get Right's actual crosshair. Back to Wingman now. You seem to always spawn in the same room as the same enemy, resetting between duels with different weapons, though I think these maps needed some balancing because I kept losing. Valve, please fix. But these new rooms are good news for active players, because it means you won't have to go quite so far to reach the AFKers. And if the other team's willing, you might even get a decent 1v1 out of it. It just means that more time can be spent playing the game rather than waiting or running about. And it means that rivalries can be forged even before the first round begins. It doesn't matter at all, but I know that you want to know. Where are these rooms situated? Well, on Vertigo, they're situated on the sunny side of the building, but they're not actually part of it. They're floating in the air just above the building that you can see down here. There are 5 of them, each about 1,000 units above the other. Here is the view from all 5 of them. The bottom one is still a long way up, but close enough to the building below to really see the limitations with the skybox's graphics. You can't jump out of these places since the view of the city is actually just a solid wall. There's no way of seeing these places from the proper map, and they'll have zero impact on performance, though it might inflate the map's file size and could take a fraction of a second longer to load the map up in the first place. You'll never believe this, but there are also 5 on train, and they're situated behind bomb site B, not in the train station where you might have expected it to take place. Not that it matters in the slightest. In the future, we might see them added to more maps, and the fact that there's 5 of them suggests that it could be rolled out to competitive mode in the future. Also, it says that's their plan on this update's blog post. Oh yeah, and there are also 7 new music kits, and stat track ones, because why not? But why? Their anthems will play when inspected on the main menu, even if all music is turned off in-game. There are also many map changes which I'll reserve for another video, but it looks like they haven't given up on Vertigo just yet.